Welcome to the Final Expense Sales Academy, the hub for mastering the art of final expense life insurance sales. If you're looking to become a pro in the final expense industry, you're in the right place. My name is Kyle Williams, and I'm your host to go through the ins and outs of the final expense business, from tips to tricks to industry insights. We cover everything you need to close deals with confidence, provide true value to your clients, and become a better insurance agent. So hit that subscribe button and let's get started on elevating your sales game one video at a time. In this episode, we're going to talk about, for people who do in-field sales, do you door knock leads or do you set appointments? So there's two ways that you can work leads for in-person sales if you're going out in the field and seeing people in person. You can either call and set an appointment, or you can just door knock your leads. So what do I mean by door knocking? Is you just get your leads and go knock on the door and try to get in the door. That's essentially what it is. So I'm going to talk through some advantages on each, and then we'll talk through some disadvantages on each. And then I'll kind of outline some summaries on that. So some advantages to setting appointments is that they're ready for you. So when you call them, you set the appointment, they're ready for you. So that way when you show up, they'll let you right in and you can get down and they already know what you're there to talk about. They've set that part of the day aside, so that way you can talk about insurance with them and they're open-minded to it. Second thing is they know you're coming, so they've put away any distractions that may be, and they're anticipating you. That way there's no surprises there either, so that way you're not sneaking up on them. And like I said, they're open and ready to buying. So now you've called, you've planted the seed, they're thinking about insurance, they're in a buying mood. So that's some advantages with appointments. Now, door knocking. An advantage there is you save time from having to call all of your leads. You can just get out there and start knocking on doors. Try to catch people at home. So people are at home, so now you can catch them at home. A lot of people don't answer the phone from phones they don't know, especially in today's time. They can see that they don't know the number, they're just not going to answer it. Or they may get tore up with so many robocalls that they don't answer any phone number that they don't know. Another thing is you have the element of surprise. So a lot of final expense clients, they are masters at excuses. If you sold final expense for any period of time, they are the master of excuses. And if you're new to final expense or getting into final expense, you'll learn that they're the master of excuses. So with the element of surprise, it doesn't give them time to come up with an excuse. There's been many times that I've set appointments and all it leads to is disappointment, because now they know what time I'm coming and they know what time to not be home. So the element of surprise makes them hard to turn you away, because if you come in there and you're talking very confidently in something that they're somewhat interested in, it's hard for people to say no. And the second thing is you save on lead costs. So with door knocking, you just get the leads and it's easier to catch people at home because they got to come home at some point. In final expense, most people are over the age of 50 or on disability or Social Security, so they're not really working. So you can catch these people at home for majority of leads. Whereas if you're calling to set appointments, only a certain small percentage is actually going to answer the phone, and then another small percentage of that is going to set an appointment. So with door knocking, you can save on lead costs by alleviating the appointment setting. So those are some advantages to both. Okay. Now, disadvantages with appointment setting. So the disadvantages it's hard to catch people on the phone. If you've ever sat into your grandparents' house or anybody 50 and older, especially 65 and older, their phone rings off the hook. It's nonstop. So they don't answer phone numbers that they do not know a lot of times. And even some of us don't do that. On the phone, it's easy to turn you away. At any point, they can just hit click when they're tired of hearing from you. Okay, so that's a disadvantage. And whenever you're trying to set appointments, you have to work more leads because you have to call more leads to get more appointments, to get more people on the phone. And so you have a higher lead cost in doing it that way. So with door knocking, here are some disadvantages. If they're just simply not at home, you may drive all the way there and they're not at home. You go by there multiple times, you can't catch them at home. Another disadvantage is they're not anticipating a visit. Sometimes we sneak up on them and they're just flat out not anticipating it. We catch them by surprise. and so they're not ready. And one of the other disadvantages is just bad timing. Sometimes we show up on people at the worst possible time. Maybe they're in the middle of something. Maybe they're at work, whatever it may be. And now we lose one of our best assets is element of surprise, because now they know that we are coming back, and now they're having a chance to think of an excuse of why they don't need to talk to us. So those are some advantages and disadvantages of both. So what is the most effective method? Well, to be honest with you, both work. I know agents who sell at a high level who only set appointments. I know agents who only door knock and sell at a high level. Both write about the same amount of premium. Now, the appointment setters do work more leads, so you do have to have an increased lead cost. So you have to have a budget for that. If you like setting appointments, probably the best way to do is to do a combination. Set some appointments and then door knock the rest. That's what a lot of appointment setters do. So what is the most effective method? If you want to save on lead cost and lead waste, I recommend door knocking, because now you can catch all the people at the door, at home, ready to go. You can always set an appointment at the door if you need to. So, like I said, you can do a combination of both as an effective method. The only downside to that is you're going to catch some people on the phone who are just going to flat out tell you that they're not interested. Whereas you could be missing a sale if you're sitting in front of them and you can start talking to them more. So that's a good and bad. It's a good cop, bad cop deal. So personally, in final expense, if I were to tell anybody starting out, I would just straight door knock. Starting out. You door knock, you find a way to get in the door, you're going to catch these people at home. Like I said, they're over the age of 50. They're retired on Social Security, or most of your demographic. They're coming home. You can, and then also too, with the element of surprise, it doesn't give them the chance to come up with an excuse. So, and it's harder for people to tell you no to your face versus over the phone, because now you're a real human being. People don't like rejecting people. It's human psychology. So you can use that to your advantage to help get in the house to try to make them sell. Now, you can always go to the door, and if you can't get in the door, you can always set an appointment for later. That's a possibility too. And if you can't catch people at home, then you can always call them and try to get them on the phone to see if you can set an appointment. So you can do both. It's just whatever works for you and whatever works the best. So those are some advantages and disadvantages. Like I said, both ways work. There's no right or wrong way. The only thing that matters is if you have a system, that you work the system and that it works for you. And the most important thing is, are you writing business and are you being profitable? That's some advantages and disadvantages to door knocking, appointment setting, whichever way you want to do it. I'd love to hear which way you personally do it or you would like to do it in the comments. So drop in the comments which way works the best for you, and love some feedback on that. If you have any questions, comment below. Be sure to subscribe to catch the latest videos. If you got something valuable here, be sure to share it on social media with your friends, and comment below what was your favorite piece of content in this video, and we'll see you in the next video.